Some mountains become famous because they are the tallest, others because of the stories they leave behind. On July 30th, 2026, one of those stories unfolded high on Broad Peak, deep in Pakistan's Karakoram range. At an altitude of nearly 6,600 meters, a massive avalanche swept across the mountain. Within seconds, 10 climbers from Nepal, Pakistan, Oman, the United States, and China were caught in its path. Among them was Nirmal Nims Purja, the record-breaking mountaineer who had inspired millions by achieving what many believed was impossible. But this wasn't supposed to be his final climb. Broad Peak wasn't even part of his original plan. So, what brought him back to one of the world's most dangerous mountains? What happened on that July morning? And how did an expedition chasing history end in tragedy? Long before the world called him Nimsdai, he was Nirmal Purja, born in the hills of Nepal. After serving as a Gurkha and later with the United Kingdom's elite special boat service, he found his true calling among the world's highest mountains. But Nims wasn't just another climber. He built a reputation by taking on challenges many believed were impossible. In 2019, he stunned the mountaineering world by climbing all 14 mountains above 8,000 meters in just 189 days, shattering a record that had previously taken years to achieve. The achievement became known as Project Possible, earning him international recognition and inspiring the Netflix documentary, 14 Peaks, Nothing is Impossible. Yet, even after rewriting the record books, Nims believed his greatest challenge still lay ahead. By the summer of 2026, he had begun a new mission, a mission that would bring him back to Pakistan and place him on a path toward Broad Peak, a mountain that was never supposed to be part of the plan. After making history in 2019, Nimsdai wasn't chasing another record. He was chasing something no one had ever achieved. His goal was to become the first person in history to climb all 14 mountains above 8,000 meters, twice, without supplemental oxygen. By the summer of 2026, that extraordinary journey had already begun. He successfully climbed Gasherbrum 1, followed by Gasherbrum 2, both without bottled oxygen. Broad Peak was never part of the original plan, but when the opportunity arose, Nims decided to continue. Before leaving for the climb, he shared a message that, in hindsight, would become unforgettable. Broad Peak, I ask for nothing but safe passage up and back down. If the expedition succeeded, he would be just one mountain away from completing one of the greatest achievements in mountaineering history. Broad Peak stands 8,047 meters above sea level, making it the 12th highest mountain on Earth. Although often overshadowed by nearby K2, experienced climbers know Broad Peak is a serious test of endurance and judgment. In late July, conditions on the mountain had become increasingly difficult. Days of heavy snowfall had left the upper slopes unstable. Several climbing teams chose to abandon their summit attempts and head back. But Nimsdai and his multinational expedition continued their ascent. Alongside him were experienced climbers and high-altitude guides from Nepal, Pakistan, Oman, the United States, and China. Each had come to Broad Peak with a different story, but they all shared the same goal. They had no way of knowing that within hours, their expedition would become one of the deadliest mountaineering tragedies of 2026. On the morning of July 30th, 2026, Nimsdai and his team continued their ascent of Broad Peak. By approximately 9:30 a.m., they were climbing at an altitude of around 6,600 meters between Camp 2 and Camp 3. The mountain had already received days of heavy snowfall. The snowpack had become unstable. Many other expeditions had chosen to abandon their summit attempts. But for Nims and his team, The climb continued. Then, without warning, a massive avalanche swept across the mountain. The enormous wall of snow struck the climbing route, catching the international expedition team. Satellite tracking data later showed that several climbers experienced a sudden fall of nearly 800 meters down the mountainside, within moments. The expedition had turned into a rescue mission. Search operations began immediately. The Pakistan Army Aviation deployed helicopters, while experienced mountaineers, including Sirbaz Khan and Mingma Ji, led ground rescue teams. Drone surveillance helped identify the avalanche site, where several victims were located beneath the snow. Rescuers worked in one of the world's most dangerous environments, facing unstable terrain and the constant threat of more avalanches. Despite those risks, recovery efforts continued. Some climbers were brought down by helicopter. Others remained in locations too dangerous to reach immediately, forcing teams to suspend parts of the operation until conditions improved. The avalanche claimed the lives of 10 climbers from 5 countries. Among them were Nirmal Nims Purja, the expedition leader, Nadira al-Harthi, the first Omani woman to summit Mount Everest, Sarah Mallory Geiss from the United States, Sohail Saki, one of Pakistan's respected mountain guides, Wang Zhong of China, and 5 highly experienced Nepali high-altitude guides whose skill and dedication supported countless Himalayan expeditions. 10 climbers, 10 dreams, lost on a single mountainside for Nimsdai. Broad Peak was never supposed to be the final destination. It was a late addition to the expedition, another opportunity, another step toward a dream that no one had ever achieved. Had the climb been successful, he would have stood just one mountain away from becoming the first person in history to climb all 14 8,000-meter peaks, twice, without supplemental oxygen. Instead, Broad Peak became the mountain where that dream came to an end. They came from different countries, different cultures, and different backgrounds, but they all shared the same passion: to stand on top of the world's highest mountains. On July 30th, 2026, that journey ended on the slopes of Broad Peak. As investigations continue, some questions about the avalanche may still be answered. Others may remain part of the mountain forever. What will never be forgotten is the courage of the 10 climbers who accepted the risks of high-altitude mountaineering in pursuit of a dream. Their expedition ended on Broad Peak, but their story will continue to be remembered. If you found this documentary informative, consider subscribing to Whispered Truths. We explore the world's most extraordinary true stories through careful research and verified facts. Thank you for watching.